What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. In today's video, we're going to be going over all of the most important news to watch out for this week and some of the best stocks right now. On Friday, the stock market broke all-time highs. We have a lot of great movement in the market and some very important things to talk about. So make sure you guys stick around to the end of today's video. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. Don't forget to subscribe. But Tom, let's get right into it.
Yeah, like you said, the SPY and the overall market really pushed out to all-time highs with the SPY hitting 445.95, has a pretty good double top up there around 446. That would be a pretty good level to watch for it to break as we start this week off. But man, looking at the overall market, the SPY's up, the QQQ was bringing itself back up. They're not to all-time highs yet, but we do have the DIA or the Dow at all-time highs too. And man, we have a lot of these black swan events going on right now. And CNBC reports that Taliban fighters began entering the Afghan capital of Kabul on Sunday. And apparently these the militants or the Taliban have been going all over Afghanistan, like liberating, or I guess you could say liberating or taking over cities and just doing all this stuff as we start to actually pull our troops out of the area. And a lot of people have been kind of criticizing Joe Biden for withdrawing the troops and everything. But either way, the Taliban's making a lot of these advances across the Middle East right now, specifically in Afghanistan, and they're actually taking back a lot of the land that they've been losing over the past 10 years. So just looking at it, looks like we might have some of these weird events going on over the next few weeks. And, the market's at all-time highs. The VXX has been going down a lot. So who knows, we might get a turnaround. This might actually send the market down if the news can get bad enough, because man, it seems like they're just taking over the whole country. Every day I hear more stuff, and we might actually retaliate, or somebody might. You would think something would happen soon.
Yeah, not good news. And, like you said, we have the stock market at all-time highs right now. We have it seems like a pretty action-filled week ahead. Obviously, this Black Swan event with the Taliban, but also we have that Fed minutes later in the week. And we also have a lot of earnings from retail stocks like Walmart, Target, Macy's, Lowe's, Home Depot. But Tom, tell us more about the Fed minutes.
Yeah, the minutes is actually going to come out on Wednesday, and it's just going to highlight pretty much what they were talking about in their July meeting. A lot of people are scrutinizing them, saying that they're going to, they're pretty much scrutinizing them on their view of when to start scaling back the monthly bond purchases, as well as their just overall outlook on the economy. So very interested to see what ends up happening, but they're going to really be looking for different, I guess, tones of voice and different wording as of stuff to look at the bond purchases and inflation and stuff like that. So that's going to be the main thing people eye up. But considering that Powell didn't really talk about any of that stuff, I don't think it's going to be too big on the radar.
All right, and then like I just said, we have some relatively big earnings this week. The main one I'll be watching for, here, Tom, perfect job pulling up the chart. Target's really on my watch on Wednesday. I've been watching them for a while, and then, Nvidia is going to be huge too.
Yeah, Nvidia is going to be my favorite one to watch. Like you said, though, Target's going to be really interesting. They've just been running up to all-time highs. Going to be really interesting to see how they go. Personally, I have a couple over here on the first day, which are interesting. I think Roblox could be pretty interesting given everything that's been going on lately. And then also CleanSpark. I've been hearing a lot about them. So I'll really have my eyes on those two. But my favorite one is obviously Nvidia. Really will be watching that for these earnings. But like you said, Mike, a lot of these retail stocks, this is going to be pretty big for the Dow and just for the overall market. We have Walmart, Home Depot, Target, Lowe's, TJX, Nvidia, Cisco, Macy's, Kohl's. So man, just retail galore this week. It's almost like it was done on purpose. Almost all the big retail companies, Target, Walmart, Home Depot. So just going forward, I think it'll be a big week as far as that goes, and it'll really kind of show I think how the jobs are going, because they'll obviously talk about their jobs. They'll talk about their profits and everything. And with Home Depot, I remember lumber was really going up for a while, Mike, and I wonder how that's going to start affecting their earnings here.
Absolutely. So lots of great things ahead, but let's get right into our member of the day and then the momentum plays. So today's member of the day, we have Krusty. He made a crazy trade in the Discord. So Here's this post. He goes, I know this is really, really rare, but I had the money to try it. I bought just before earnings, way out of the money, and kept it for the last 3 days. I just sold for a 2,000% profit. I can't thank Mike and Tom enough for what they do. You guys are awesome. So awesome job, Krusty. I know that the trade was a little risky, but it paid off big time. As we can see, it's like almost like a $15,000 gain, which is absolutely crazy. And we played UPST calls in the premium portion of Stocked Up Discord, so it wasn't necessarily the 190 strikes, but awesome job, Krusty. Huge congratulations. And if you guys want to trade with Tom, myself, and our bots every single day, click that first link in the description down below. You can cancel at any time. Daily options, swing trades, day trades, order flow bots, custom bots. It's just overall, we have a ton of great things, and we're always adding new tools and resources to the program. Like I said, you can cancel at any time, and a lot of people really banked off of UPST last week, so definitely check it out. But Tom, let's get right into these momentum plays. With the first one, we have PG to the upside.
Yep, and with PG, go ahead and make them break out above 144. That's actually a pretty good resistance there.
All right, and with the next one, we have eBay.
Yeah, eBay actually had a great Friday. I think they're kind of off the radar, but make them break out above 74.40.
All right, and then with the last one, we have McDonald's.
McDonald's to the upside. Go ahead and make them break out above. I would say actually make them break out above 239.50.
All right, so we are watching these three plays for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow, only if they break above the levels Tom listed. But now let's get right into the $7.8 million trade for this week. We are looking at the Nvidia 205 strike calls for this Friday. There was around $7.8 million put into this play, and it's a very interesting setup. Nvidia is still lingering by its highs, but they have earnings. It's a weekly call, slightly out of the money. I'm kind of torn on this one, because it's a couple dollars out of the money, and plus it's an earnings play. So I would lean towards a covered call, but maybe it's just like a pre-earnings run up.
Yeah, I would lean more towards that too. And looking on the daily here, Nvidia posted lower highs whenever they hit around 207.50 here and started to go back down. I'm honestly really torn as well. I'd really think that as far as Nvidia's setup goes on Friday, the intraday setup, I love how they closed up here around 202. They really held their ground and they look like they're going to get a nice pop, but man, up to 205, that's hard to say. It does expire at the end of this week, so we'll have to see what ends up going on. But I'm with you, Mike. I'm kind of torn on this one. Personally, I would think that they longed it, just giving the setup I'm seeing, but the way it's kind of double topped up there around 205, 206 makes it pretty scary.
All right, so let's get right into the questions from the previous episode. And with the first question, we have Bomi saying, always great video. I've been loading the boat on LVS and MLCO. What do you guys think of Groupon? It had good earnings, but tanked big time. So, yeah, LVS and MLCO aren't bad at all. I was looking at LVS, Win, and MGM for potential plays. And, MLCO kind of moves with them, which is decent to see, but they've definitely struggled a lot over the past couple months. But then they said, what do we think of Groupon? So, Groupon is a very interesting setup over the past year or so. Overall, they just have a horrible downtrend, on this max weekly chart. It's brutal, so it kind of scares me from investing into them. For the short term, there might be some opportunities for selling puts, but honestly, just looking at this long-term chart, I really just don't want to touch them.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to touch it either. And if I did touch it with anything, like you said, Mike, I'd sell some puts, or maybe I'd wait for it to start to go back up and maybe catch some momentum back to the upside with some calls or something. Definitely would not overload though on Groupon. I know that they were a lot bigger a few years ago. They've definitely been kind of going downhill over the past couple of years, and just not a good sign. Their max chart is really scary. Just like I said, for the past few years, almost straight down after having a few great years. So just be really careful. In the past, they've gapped down from 60, they gapped down to 33, and then still ran down to $9. So I would not be surprised if they kept going down right now. In the past, they've definitely had that type of downwards momentum, and I would think right now it could continue. But I'll be honest, Mike, this setup on the daily is getting kind of crazy. Looks like it's starting to have a lot less volatile candles, and I would almost expect it to stop and then go back up soon. But just given what I've seen in the past, it totally ruins my confidence on this one.
All right, and then we have Thomas saying, "Great video as always. With the NFL around the corner, DraftKings is looking good. What do you guys think of LTHM? It exploded up this last month. Thanks." So yeah, I really like DraftKings for the long term. It's not bad for the short term either. But looking at LTHM, you're 100% right. They have been exploding up. It has a lot of momentum, and it's not bad at all. I'm just trying to see some like next levels. Like we have resistance right around like $27 and like 30 cents or so. And then a support right around like the $25 area, and then right around the $24 area. But overall, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, and it's hard to say because it's at like all-time highs right now. I would say if they start to go down, watch for that bounce off of $24, like Mike said. I think that'll be the best way to go. I'm a little worried about it because they're at all-time highs, but if the momentum can keep up, I would think it could possibly go up and touch $30 or something like that. But honestly, it looks like a little overextended to me. I wouldn't want to be buying up here at the top, especially for shares or anything. Maybe you could catch some calls with some momentum plays though.
All right, and then we have Raphael saying, "Thanks for the vid, guys. Seems like AMC has found a real bottom at the $29 or 20 at the $29 to $30 range. Been playing it from 29 to 34 every time, easy money." So yeah, I mean it has been bouncing between like 29 and 30 like every time it touches, which is great to see. Of course, it has been making lower highs, which isn't the best sign to see, but hopefully it pops up for you. Looks like we're like kind of in that range right now.
Yeah, we are, and I love how it's hitting off that support and holding, like he said, Mike. I think that's a pretty good sign, at least for AMC in the short term. They've been having a really bad past couple weeks. They've been really tanking off to the downside, breaking supports, hitting off resistances, and just obviously moving pretty bad. Hopefully, we can get it going this week again. We've been double bottoming around $30, and I really like it. It looks pretty solid. They didn't fall like too low on this retest of 30 either. They actually held their ground. They didn't go all the way back down to that low of like 28.50, which is a good sign. And I would say it looks like it had a great day on Friday. Great 3 days actually last week. So I like it. I think we could get a pop back up. I'm not super confident in AMC. For me, I would only play the trades like super quick if I was going to play this at all. But I think it looks pretty decent as of right now. And just looking at like risk reward ratios, it's one of the better times to buy over the past few months, at least.
All right, and then we have Tap saying, "Thank God I didn't buy Wish. I was about to do that. Do you think it is a good time to get in? I was watching them for a long time, and today $7.50 looks like a good deal." So it's very tricky to say because it really just depends on your risk tolerance. Personally, like I wouldn't buy Wish, like no matter like, even if it went to like $6 or like $5, like it's just not really a play for me. And like, it's just not a company I want to invest in. But if it is a company that you like for the long term, then yeah, it's at a pretty low price right now and you can get a decent deal. It's down 20%. So like, personally, just for me, like I just like other companies better for the long term. And, even for short term plays, I just think that there's better like opportunities and like Win. You could say RCL, you can say MGM, Corsair, PENN. You could even say DraftKings. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think that there's some better plays out there than Wish. And, we've been looking at Wish a lot like the past couple of weeks. It was actually like right at that support at like $10. I was actually really hoping it would hold there. So like maybe we could start to get a play on it to the upside. But man, it tanked off, broke that support. Not a good sign. We just broke that low. So maybe watch for like these lows to continue for a couple of weeks. I'll definitely have it on my radar though. But like Mike said, it's not my favorite stock. I personally wouldn't invest into it right now or anything. And I don't think I'd recommend it at these levels either. It just broke that all-time low and who knows how much lower it can go. Now, it could easily start to pop back up, but normally when stocks break lows like this, they keep going down for a little bit.
For sure. And then Tap, always, always, always trust your gut. Like if you like the stock, if you like the company, it doesn't hurt to buy in a little bit. Always trust your gut. It's just not necessarily a play for us. And then we have Blue saying, "Hey guys, I just bought the quote unquote dip on SPCE. This stock better not drop anymore or I'll be really upset. Uh-oh. Let's see. SPCE. It's really been struggling a lot over the past couple weeks, but we are getting really close to that like $25 support. So maybe we'll see a bounce around there. What do you think?
Man, I really hope we do. SPCE's been getting killed the past couple months. They had that big $500 share offering. I thought that whenever they started to bounce off the $30 support and they rose all the way up to $35, I thought that they were maybe going to keep that momentum up and start to fly back. But man, they ended up going down, breaking that support and fell out of the range they were in, not looking good. I think they could possibly break $25 and keep going to the downside. I hope they don't for your sake, though. But just looking at the technicals and everything, that's definitely a big level. So I hope it holds up. And I do like SPCE for the long term. Now, it's not my favorite company or my favorite stock. I don't think it's it's just a space tourism company. If it was like a space mining company or something like that, I'd be a lot more like apt to buy them, I think. But as of right now, I still think they're decent for the long term. And they just started to sell tickets and stuff. So I would expect over the next few months as they start to like get some more launches going and stuff, you'll start to see more and more news about them. And also, if you like SPCE, also check out ASTR. They've been looking pretty good and they have some launches coming up over the next like couple weeks. So really watch them. I think we could get a big pop out of them too. I'm not saying to sell your SPCE position by any means though, but ASTR is a pretty solid space stock too.
Good stuff. And then we have Outlaw saying, I will always buy NIO at $40 for the long term. So yeah, it's getting really close to that level, and I'm really glad you mentioned this one because NIO, like, it's a very volatile stock, which is awesome for short-term trading, and it's even great for the long term, in my opinion. But over the past couple weeks, it's just been consolidating and not really doing anything. But I'm glad you brought this up because I'm going to add this to my watch list, and I might sell some puts on this one because I'm with you. I really wouldn't mind getting I wouldn't mind getting assigned shares and then just holding for the long term.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, like any shares under $40 or like he said, that $40 support's pretty big. So any shares like at 40 or just under is pretty good. They have a big support down here right around 32. I don't know what kind of strikes you're looking at, Mike, over the next few weeks, but man, somewhere like, maybe the 33 strike, the 30, the 31, somewhere like right around there could be like really fantastic. If you had shares at those levels, you'd be doing really well right now. And man, I would think that NIO could start to get up, even if they start to go down for the next couple months and they do end up going down to 30. I think for the next couple years, they'll be back up to 60 and definitely higher.
There we go. So, guys, reminder, if you guys trade options and you want to trade with Tom, myself, and our bots every single day, don't forget to click that first link in the description down below. We've been pretty hot. UPST exploded last week. The bot's been doing well. The plays have been doing well. Daily options, swing trades, day trades, and a ton of custom bots. And you can cancel at any time. Even if you just want to try it out for 1 month, totally go for it. It's that first link in the description down below. But, Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or anything for this week?
I'm really going to have my eyes on the VXX with all these black swan events going on, with everything going on in Afghanistan. The VIX did kind of get a little pop back to the upside on Friday as well. So that's a good thing to see. Well, it's a good thing to see if you're trading the VIX, not a good thing for the overall market. But just looking at the overall market, SPYs at all-time highs, the QQQ going back up to retest. It's hard to say because the market looks like it wants to break out. But if we have a weird event go on or something, it could definitely go down. So just have your eyes open. We might have some more infrastructure bill news this week, maybe stuff like that could help the SPY maybe break out or maybe break down if it doesn't end up passing. So definitely have your eye open. I think that we'll see a lot of good stuff coming this week. There's going to be a lot of volatility, a lot of events like the earnings. We have the Fed's meetings minutes as well. So really have your eyes open. I think it'll be a volatile week, but who knows? We might start to go up to all-time highs. If we do, then just start playing these momentum plays like on the SPY, maybe on PG, eBay, McDonald's, stuff like that. But overall, I think this week should do pretty well. And I'm hoping that the market continues up. But if we do see a black swan event, the market goes down, be ready for some puts because it could go pretty quick with all this weird news coming out.
There we go. And then, guys, don't forget to subscribe. We post brand new videos every single day. I know a lot of you guys forget to subscribe, so don't forget to subscribe. And if you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. And then come join Tom and I live every single day at market open on the Stocked Up live channel. The link for that is in the description down below. But other than that, thanks for watching.